guest is a professor at Northwestern's Kellogg School of Management. He's also an assistant pastor on Chicago's Southside Apostolic, and in his spare time, he wrote a book called The Purpose Path. Here he is to tell us all about it. Please welcome Nicholas Pearce. Hi, Nicholas.
Hi, Nicholas.
How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Wow, where do we begin? You're an assistant pastor, you're a professor at Northwestern, and you're an author.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell us how to get our lives together and create some purpose in our paths.
That's right. And I'm a husband, a father, and a son.
Wow.
Okay.
So you're really good at time management.
Yeah.
That is essential.
Yeah.
And it's a daily work in progress.
Right. All right, let's talk about Northwestern first. Tell us exactly, what do you teach? What are you a professor of?
And so I teach leadership in organizations, I teach diversity and inclusion, and I teach negotiation strategies for people who are doing their MBAs, as well as executives all over the world.
How did you get that job?
Goodness. A PhD and a lot of prayer. It's been quite a bit of work, but it has opened opportunities that I would never have even dreamed of.
Right.
So you kind of teach people how to become managers and leaders.
That's exactly right. How to be better than they were. How to not only make people what they want them to be to get money out of them, but how to help them thrive and how to create human flourishing in the world. Every organization should be out for more than just making money. What's the impact? What's the net bottom line of the good you're creating in the world? And how do you use the resources that you're given to help make that happen?
Right. And obviously faith is huge for you.
No
You're a
question.
pastor. So how do you tie faith into your purpose?
People think that faith is like what you do on Sundays or what you do on the weekends in worship, and then what you do Monday through Saturday is your own business. And part of what I'm trying to do is not compartmentalize. I try to connect what I do in terms of my faith with what I do every day.
Okay.
I don't leave my soul in the parking lot when I go into the classroom or to the boardroom. And I don't leave my brain in the parking lot when I go to preach. Part of it is really being what Parker Palmer would call living an undivided life, being a whole person.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
It's being committed to being authentic. Some people think this whole concept of authenticity is about showing up and snapping your fingers and making people know your truth and, you know, staring them down. I think it's really a quiet confidence in knowing who you are and being comfortable in your own skin and not changing to fit someone else's expectation.
Right. So you wrote a book called The Purpose Path. And what does that mean exactly?
A lot of people are asking the question, what am I on the planet for? And people are thinking about their purpose as a destination, as a goal to be achieved. And instead, I think of purpose as a gift to be received. Purpose is the journey that you're taking and the commitment you have, not so much the final outcome. You can circle at the bottom of the paper. It's not so much the outcome, it's really the journey. And what I have found is that there are tremendously meaningful moments of purpose that I have found on my way from point A to point B. So instead of just focusing on going, enjoy the journey and be mindful of what's going on.
Yeah. If someone's unhappy on a job, what's the first thing they should ask themselves?
Oh, goodness. There are a lot of people who are unhappy on their jobs. And a lot of people want to run away just out of convenience. I think there are three things you should ask before you leave your job.
Okay.
One, are you done learning and growing? Right?
Okay.
Because you should not leave until you have exhausted everything you can get from that place.
Got it.
Two, is it a toxic culture? Like, is it sucking the life out of you to go there every day? Your well-being is actually worth more than a paycheck.
Okay.
And then thirdly is the question of, are you being inauthentic by showing up? Are the things you're working on killing your soul? Do you feel like you have to put on a mask just to make it through the day and send a representative of yourself to work? Or can you be you and thrive as you? If you feel like you are being a fraud by showing up at work every day, it may be time to move on.
You know, there are some people that go to work, they're in a good mood all the time. There's some people that go to work and they're in a bad mood all the time. But I almost think there's some people that like being in a bad mood.
Yeah.
What do we say to those people?
You know, misery does love company, but it's a choice. It's a choice. And so I choose instead to be well and to be whole.
Yeah.
Happiness isn't the goal, though, because if we think of happiness as a goal, then we avoid all the pain and all the difficult adversities that we may face. If we think about purpose instead as the goal, what we find is that we're willing to embrace inconvenience and adversity as formative, pulling us and drawing us into where we belong.
I love that you said it's a choice, though. Explain real quick, we're almost out of time, what it means to connect your soul with your role.
Goodness. So many people let their best and highest values guide how they work. So they're kind people, they're high integrity people, they do the right things the right way. What I'm arguing for is instead of just letting our best and highest values guide how we work, we should let our best and highest values guide which work we choose to do. Right? And that is not leaving your soul in the parking lot, but rather bringing your full, authentic self with you to work every day.
Yeah, I can tell that you do that, Nicholas. You
Do
have
the best I
found your
can, Ryan.
purpose in life and you're helping others. Thank you so much
for being here.
Yeah, be sure to pick up a copy of Nicholas Pearce's new book, The Purpose Path.